Up on a Tuesday night. Oh, yeah. I know. It is time for another edition of Reaper's Underground, bringing you the best in underground entertainment, artistry, you name it, I got it. Grab the snacks, grab the devil's lettuce, get your liquor on. It is time for my very first time ever in the history of the underground. Am I doing an interview with a premier tribute band, and tonight it is all about Black Sabbath, with welcoming for their first time on this show, Seventh Advent Unicorn. So before we get into that and all things Sabbathy worthy worship, we are going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers over at Villain Arts Tattoos. Check it out. Yes, that's right. Reaper and Mischief will be in Chicago. Are you ready for the big bad devil daddy himself? That's right. I'm going to be in Chicago this weekend. Come on down to the Villain Arts Tattoo Conventions. Whatever the fuck it's called, the Chicago Tattoo Convention. If you're in the area, come down, hang out with me, get some signed photos, take a photo with me. I don't give a fuck. Let's have fun. But what we are really here for is Black Sabbath. Every doom metal fan's absolute favorite band in all of history of doom. So tonight I present to you the amazing, I've played with these motherfuckers. They are legit the real fucking deal in Black Sabbathry. So welcome, Seventh Advent Unicorn. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, Reaper. Doing great.
Hell yeah.
Fabuloso. So we're just going to get right into it real quick, though. Thank you, Leanne. Kyler, good to see you, my brother. I promise you won't get Danzig's lazy nipple tonight, so you're safe because Brother Genghis is not with us. Oh, you want to see what I'm talking about? Well, never mind. You just might get hit with it. And lazy nipple. All right. Sorry, Kyler. I had to get you. The guys didn't know what I was talking about, so my bad. I'm so sorry. Kyler says, "No, don't you?" He just called me a motherfucking liar. I'm so sorry, my brother. You know it's all love, man. All love. Also, let's see. Did I miss anybody? And Jennifer, thank you all for joining in the comment section. Share the shit out now. I want you to share it to every page you can think of, every doom group you can think of. Share the fuck out of this so the world can get to know Seventh Advent Unicorn. So once upon a time when I was playing in Black Tar Superstar, we had a tour stop down in Southern Ohio, which is how I met these esteemed gentlemen. And I was instantly blown away. The lead singer there, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm so sad.
It's Brett. My name is Brett Weissel.
Yes. Brett started to sing the classic songs, and I felt like I stepped back into 1970. And then the esteemed guitarist,
Mike,
to our right there, starts to play, and I said, fucking Tony Iommi's fucking illegitimate love child just stepped on stage. I was blown the fuck away. And then, of course, JD over there, fucking just spitting image of Bill Ward, which has been one of my biggest influences in drumming for 30 plus years. And then, of course, the bassist, Geezer Butler, incarnated in
Fred's,
from over there. So it's like, wow, these guys got it. I've got to get to know them. So how did this all come about for you guys?
JD and I have been playing War Pigs half-assed out at jam nights, various Frank Medley jam nights in the town of Mansfield. He heads up most of the jam nights, and we had met each other out down at Belcher's pretty much, I think. Started playing War Pigs and just never got it. And that's the only time we would do it, was just we'd go down there every couple of Sundays and play it together. That was just one of the songs we'd dick off with, and then we'd move to something else, and then finally we were like, why don't we practice it? So we got together at my house and actually practiced it and mapped it out, and we figured out, oh my God, we can do it. So then we had talked about putting together a tribute band, right?
Yeah, we had this jam night at Belcher's. We had one maybe twice a week back in the day. And so it gave us an opportunity to play with everybody. So the musicians were there for the picking. And Fred came in with his band and Pheromone. And he played a couple jam night songs with us. And me and Mike would come here and we'd practice a couple Black Sabbath songs. It was 3 of them: Snowblind, Children of the Grave, and War Pigs.
Yeah.
And I played with Fred at jam night one night, and I just knew that he would be able to grab a hold of what we were looking for. And me, Fred, and Mike here was, joining the band. There you go, Fred. We'll pass it off to you.
We had a tribute night thing for a buddy of ours named Ivy that passed away.
Yeah.
And Frank put on like a jam night type show that just kind of went on through the night. It was a benefit for this guy.
We just didn't have Brett at the time.
We didn't have Brett at the time, so we just kind of went out and still kind of jam nighted it. Had people come in that thought they might be able to pull it off holding their phone in front of their face, and reading the lyrics. And
there's no shame in that.
We still had fun doing it.
I'm about 4th Street, finding Brett.
Yep.
So then he and I met, or we all 3 came to my house and started practicing and actually practicing some of the songs, getting tighter on them a couple of times. And we went out and played at a jam night out locally here.
Another one.
And by that time we had the singer of Cobalt Creek, John Smith. He was standing in doing a couple of the songs that we were trying to do.
Jen Rice playing around.
Jen Rice
too.
was also singing those songs as well, helping us out at just jam nights and just trying to get our feet off the ground with getting tighter. And we went out and played at a jam night at 4th Street Bar.
Yeah.
4th Street Bar. Rest in peace, 4th Street Bar.
And Jen was singing.
So many great venues fall to the wayside.
Kicking ass on Snowblind. And then Brett just moseys on in
Walks
the bar.
right in.
Yep.
And walks right up to the microphone and just...
But I'm going to show you bitches how it's done.
Oh, but I had been going to the 4th Street Bar for several years at that point. just playing every jam night I possibly could. There's a bunch of hippies that had a good old hand jam, as they called it, slapping these big djembes, and I'd come in there and play the bass and wail for a while. And I just loved going there, and wound up getting on stage with these guys when they're playing Snowblind. And Jen was up there, and I'm like, let me do backups on this one. I love I love this song, and I just hopped right in there, and she's like, just go ahead, dude. Just do the whole thing. And I'm like,
just jump the fuck right in there. Absolutely.
And it just wound up being perfect.
Yeah.
And I got to talk to him. I'm like, oh my God.
It was the final puzzle piece.
These three guys are some of the coolest guys I've ever met. Some of the best, the tightest musicians I've ever met. And so it's like, I loved it from just moment one. I knew it was going to be something very cool. So, and here we are to this day, playing the show.
Something else, man. So, normally when, we hear about tribute bands, there are certain things you've got to do. It definitely seems like nowadays, though, they don't really hone in so much on the look, like lookalikes, because I know in the past, a lot of tribute bands, like everybody has to look like each member of the band. I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys are pretty fucking close for sure. It's just, sound wise. Did you, Mike, did you have to hone in on Tony Iommi's legendary tone?
There it is.
Well,
and how did you do that?
I definitely wasn't. I was trying to, the more you did it and the more you find out about those songs, the more you realize you have to have kind of a particular type of amp.
Absolutely.
And stuff to do that right, because Tony's playing off the volume knob all the time. And that's how he does all of his stuff, is just by the control of that volume knob. That's all he really had. So, it's all in buying equipment and just trying to find something that you can get to kind of replicate what he was using. So that's the best I did. And I went through high gain amps. I was in bands before this where I used more high gain, and I enjoyed using it for Sabbath, but knowing it just doesn't serve the songs and the feel properly, I just kind of tried to go more the route and kind of go the treble booster into just a raw amp to kind
of absolutely. So did you ended up getting an orange and
no, I ended up I was using a VHT and a Mesa Boogie at first, and it was just obviously not Sabbath tone, but
it was more Megadeth.
More I don't know what it was, but it was it worked. I enjoyed it, but it didn't serve the purpose. And us, when you're in a tribute band, not only we trying to kind of look the part a little bit, but you want to kind of try to sound like it too, instead of trying to sound like Metallica doing Sabbath or something.
Which is horrible.
So I have my buddy
Steve
Ramjet Ramsey. Hope he's watching. Don't know if he's out there or not, but Steve came over to my house and brought one of those little orange Terror Stamp 20-watt pedals over to my house, and tried one of those out next to my VHT Pitbull 100-watt tube head, and it's just stayed right with it. And I was like, my God, I could take two of those babies out and not have to babysit two big tube amps all night and make sure nobody tries to swipe them.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of deal, way cheaper, and they're more consistent because they're the same, and I don't have to, they're not combating each other.
Tell them about your guitars.
Just works out a bit.
Yeah, for sure, because that's kind of like
doing that. So
yeah, that was the first thing I noticed right away, is that you got the Gibson SG, or is that or is it the legit Gibson SG? I can't remember.
The one I call Baby Iommi's, it's an SG special, kind of like
gotcha
Iommi used with the P90s in it.
It's dead on. It's
dead on for the high stuff, and then for the low stuff, I use a LTD baritone. I've been using those, and that's a totally different monster. That's just like night and day. So you've got to try to So then I got one with P90s in it, and I'm trying to get that dialed in now more for the lower stuff. So
hell yeah. Because like I said, that was legit the first thing I thought of. As soon as I heard you start to play, I was like, God damn, that's Tony's tone. It's like, woo, what did you do? It's almost like he was playing out of that old Laney again.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know?
He aims for that Laney tone right on there. With that
it's a never-ending, continual search for. You're not going to find it, And number two, he sounds the way he does because it's him.
Yeah,
I
was going to say a lot of people do agree that because 3 of his fingertips are missing, it makes a completely different sound and tone based on the thimbles that he wears.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you come super fucking close. And we already have a question. So Kyler says, do you guys have a favorite Black Sabbath song? We did a top 5 albums not too long ago. That was on my other show called Tracks from the Damned. So yeah, do you have a favorite song in particular?
Personally, my favorite song by Black Sabbath is one we don't do, The Writ.
Oh.
And am I going to sing The Writ? We don't do that one yet. But my favorite song to play is probably Killing Yourself to Live or
So Good
Architect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
so have on in both of them songs that it's just a joy to play.
I have to commend you guys. Doing Killing Yourself to Live is not something any like crowd member would expect.
Our in-studio audience has to hear that on their way in here today. We have a live in-studio audience here. Studio audience!
Fantastic!
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
But yeah,
from the devil.
Spiral Architect is pretty fun. How about you, Mike? What's your favorite song to play?
Ooh. I like Wheels of Confusion a lot.
Oh, so good.
And
that's like my favorite era, like in those first 10 years.
Yeah, there's so many in that about 4-year period. It's ridiculous.
Volume 4, man.
All right, how about you, Fred?
I don't know. Snowblind, probably one of my favorites.
That's a band favorite, just because it's usually our last song.
I think that's the one Brett we were playing when Brett came in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one we got our Brett with.
It kind of like we had a complete picture there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really takes a special vocalist to be like talent in order to hit how high his voice got at that point. Because that's one thing that we have talked about on so many other shows on Three Witches. About how Ozzy started with like this, I'm not so sure what my vocal tone is. I don't know where I can go with it, to like all of a sudden over, that first record by Paranoid, suddenly his voice just went super high. So I don't know if it was cigarettes or, smoking marijuana, something. So it's just like night and day. So maybe he took a lesson or two. I don't know.
In the studio.
The experience in the studio, and I think because the guitar got lower, that allowed Ozzy to access a higher register of his voice, and just the way that his voice is, he's got that nasal quality, just the slight nasal quality. He goes right up there, and I'm like, that's right. That's right where I'm at too.
I think all the members of Black Sabbath learned everything that made them such a success in the first 2 or 3 albums. That's where they really found themselves and heard what they really sound like and what they're capable of.
Oh yeah. That first record, I mean, all 4 of them recorded all at the same time. Yeah. There wasn't like first the guitar, then the bass, then the drums, whatever. It was like just capturing a live sound. But by that second record, yeah. So,
and then you look at Technical Ecstasy, where there's 9 tracks on this track, and there's 17 other instruments. You can't really play any of them songs live because there's too much going on because they sat in the studio and tinkered around with their new toys. You know what I mean? The first 3 albums pretty much defines what
here at the underground.
Sabbath
We
was.
like to think that record never happened.
I like technically.
There was like maybe 2 songs that I can actually say was Black Sabbath. One of those being Rock and Roll Doctor, and the other one was Dirty Woman.
Dirty Woman.
If that was the only 2 fucking songs on the album and everything else fell off of it, I would be playing it to this day. We just do not.
I like You Can't Change Me.
You guys
You
are
Can't
so
Change Me
fucking
as a classic
high.
album, as a classic Black Sabbath song. You Can't Change Me. I mean, I think that was one of their last greatest songs.
But you do have to remember, though, it was the one album that didn't sell nearly as much as their previous efforts.
We agree as a band too, man.
And, and it was indicative of the times because, you had what was known as corporate classic rock, and they were trying to stay relevant at that point, along with the Eagles. You had Journey starting to come around. So it's like all of a sudden they changed their appearance. I don't know what the fuck happened to Tony. Should have never got rid of the porn stash. It's like, come on, guys. Who are you trying to be? Fucking Bill Ward ends up looking like the drummer and vocalist for the Eagles. It's like, come on, man. That's not who the fuck you guys are. You talk about all that is depressing and doomy, and it's heavy. So it's like that record.
That's just a perfect
I don't know.
example of somebody telling you what to do.
That's true as well. Absolutely.
Those guys had a lot of voices going in their ears. Molding what they had to do, and saying, hey, I've got the leash on the dollar.
And they got ripped off.
Yes, they did, which is why I think they broke away from that management somewhere around Master of Reality or the album that came after, I think. Sabotage. Okay.
We figured
Volume 4 was so good, though.
We have everything between the first album all the way up to Sabotage to worry about, and that's a lot of work. I mean,
it is.
We're maybe halfway through that collection.
And so much you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
We have to learn yet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a catalog that spans 40, 50 fucking years. That is a lot. So I guess, we got a couple of new people here. We got Leanne.
Leanne,
hello. We also have Ted from YouTube. So we got some YouTube watchers. He says, what's up, guys? What's up, JD? 7th Advent
Sasquatch fella right there.
Glad to have you on. So, okay. So once you started, you got all the elements together. How did you guys go about picking your first set list, like the first songs to concentrate on? And then how did you go from there?
I think we picked the easiest ones first. And then we went from there. Because at first it was War Pigs, Children of the Grave, Lord of this World, Into the Void, Hole in the Sky, oh shit, Tomorrow's Dream,
I love that song.
Snowblind. And then we worked on an 8-song set list for a while, and then we added more to it. Every week we would what would happen is we would try to work on a song, and right after we went through this new song we were trying to work on, right after we stopped playing it, we'd start playing another song that we didn't expect to play, and we'd play through the whole song.
It was almost like somebody handed them to us.
It was like we'd look at each other and say, where the fuck did that come from? You know what I mean? So
well, it's one of those things. I can honestly say this myself, not only as a drummer, but as a fan. anytime you start listening to Sabbath, it's like you go sit at your instrument and you intend on doing this, and then all of a sudden, Symptom of the Universe comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what happened too. I think we were working on a song, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mike's like, "Yeah, ga 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 ga," and we just bam, there it is.
We just kept, we would set our mind to learn in one, and we would map every portion of it out. And I commend this guy here, JD, because he wanted to wanted to pay tribute to Bill Ward and what he did.
Oh,
and
fuck yeah.
And we would sit here every practice. We would get together. We've been getting together every Tuesday forever. And for 4 years. For 4 years now.
Yeah.
And
how's that for tolerating?
So we get together at 4 and we hang out here. And
it's like a fucking marriage, you know.
I do have the best wife in the world. Her name is Jennifer Kirkpatrick. She's online here. I love you, baby.
Absolutely. And wherever you are, Mischief, I love you too, baby. That's my wife.
We wouldn't be shit without our beautiful wives.
Damn Skippy, to put up with my sorry satanic ass? Absolutely.
I think Bill Ward, they called him a quirky drummer, but he wasn't a quirky drummer. He was an orchestrative drummer. He followed Tony more than he would follow Geezer.
That's because he understood the jazz idiom.
Yeah.
That's why.
He understood the symphonic portion of it too.
And I think just getting together first off.
Dynamics.
Me and him would sit down and map these songs out. And once we got through it, they just grew a little bit bigger. And it was like, we can do another one. Let's try this. And we just go for this and go through it. And it's like, and then it always gets to the middle part where it's just, okay. Then it's like, now you got to sit down with the microscope and analyze every little nook and cranny. And he, like I say, and he was trying to pay homage to Bill Ward. And we would sit down here and he would go, what do you think he's doing here? He would be writing lines out on the paper, like fills, and it was just like, it was insane. And that
was the master of the triplet.
That's the way we did everything. Every single song we did, we just learned how to do it. And it's like, and we have so many more to learn too, but it's like, we've got enough now to do probably about a good 2-hour set, I'd say.
Now, and you know what? There's not a single, concert goer, especially in the smaller clubs, because it's more intimate. You're like, which I always love. I hate being set far back away from the crowd. You got to feel that energy. So I don't think anyone would bitch about that at all. A 2-hour fucking set of Sabbath classics, especially the ones that, never got the airplay.
Lord of this World.
B-sides.
That's what we were.
How could you not play Lord of this World or Into the Void? Those two songs there, cemented doom metal legacy.
Songs that people have not heard much of, really.
Master Reality is just awesome.
And you know what? That's one thing we talked about on Tracks from the Damned when we were doing a Sabbath edition, is that album was the pinnacle of their career at that time. Don't get me wrong. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Sabotage, excellent fucking records. But that particular record, I don't know if it was because it's what they went through or the war that was going on at that time. Probably was. And everything else, problem-wise in the world, just made that album so special. So chuggalicious. Now, have you guys ever done Sweet Leaf?
We're working on that one.
Sweet Leaf was one of the ones that if we did, we had to fucking nail it.
Oh, for sure.
Recently, we've been working on it. There are a few things that we've
got
still
it about
working
90%.
We got about 90% of it. We have a show April 15th in Mansfield. We might play it. If we got it locked in, we'll play it. But it's the newest. It's the newest of our new songs. That's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
You know,
You heard it here on the underground.
for good or bad, one of the things that still does kind of suck about Sabbath songs is most of their songs are 7:54, 3:30, 5:50, 6:30, 5:20. You know, so
8:30.
you're doing about 6 songs and you're off stage.
You know,
and that was actually going to be one of my questions. How do you deal with that?
We try to cram as much of it as we can into what they allow us to do.
Black Sabbath
sure.
usually cut the ends of their songs live, but the band as a whole have decided not to do that. We will complete the whole song of Sweet Leaf. We will complete the whole song of Iron Maiden or Iron Man. Iron Maiden. I'm thinking about Iron Maiden, you know.
Run to the hills.
But, you know, we won't cut a song. We'll play it out. Like Lord of this World. We kind of even play that a little bit longer when we get to the end of that one.
There's no reason to cut any of that.
That's what
honestly.
Black Sabbath did it. Black Sabbath would stop before the drum solo on Iron Man when they did it live.
If they had to cut time.
If they had to cut time, they wouldn't play a few of their songs on the end. It was a, time issue.
We also agreed.
Sure.
We also agreed to make sure that if we're going to learn a song, we're going to learn the whole thing, even if it has an insane ending where you got to learn or whatever.
Oh yeah, the epic ending of Iron Man.
You cannot play one of their songs and cheat the listener out of what they're used to hearing. So
otherwise, don't even do it if you can't do it all. Yeah.
So my next question is for Brett. So just being a Sabbath fan, how did you get into the headspace of Ozzy?
Oh man, a lot of videos on the internet. Just a lot.
I was gonna say, did you do a lot of footage research from that time period? You know, the whole thing.
Yeah, yes, and I really paid attention to the lyrics, and I tried my best to get into the headspace of the 70s and of the time period, doing some light research on what was going on back then. Because I'm 27 years old, I have no idea.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't live through that, but I tried my best to understand where Ozzy was at the time without the excessive drug use, and that's
good luck.
So that helps me remember the lyrics.
he asked all of us about it.
Yeah, and a lot of guys in the band who did live through that era, and I'm just really, I don't know, just trying my best to pay attention to the footage as well.
Well, sure. I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that no matter the drugs, this, that, or the other thing, that motherfucker was a showman.
Yes,
he knew how to command crowds of. I mean, I don't know if you've ever saw the footage from the California Jam.
Oh yeah.
There was literally hundreds of thousands of hippies out there.
400,000.
He commanded rows, probably 50, rows back. He had them all. So do you find that to be a challenge at all? Like, when you're doing your shows, like getting literally every motherfucker there just
that's a good question. I've spent quite a bit of time on stage. I was decent at speaking to my class and out in public when I was coming up in school and everything. And I try to view the crowd all as like the individuals in the crowd, and as well just all those pairs of eyes watching as one on one point. And at that point, like I don't
he
know.
can definitely capture the attention of the crowd. Can I tell him?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So one time we were playing in Wells Township at the haunted house there. And
that had to be killer.
It was.
It
was.
Awesome.
We had a siren, a World War II siren that they played for us before we did War Pigs. That was badass.
in the
Sean.
Whole River Valley.
That gives me chills just thinking about
So
it.
Brett gets up on the stage and he gets into the mic, and we're right in between songs, and he says into the mic, he says, I want you guys to, what'd you say?
Guess what I'm thinking?
Guess what I'm thinking? And everybody in the whole crowd looked at him, and everybody got silent. Even the band was like,
and I'm
what?
just like,
guess what I'm thinking? And everybody
Just
looked
staring
at him,
down.
and it was just he calmed the ocean. He calmed the turbulent ocean. He grabbed everybody's attention at the same time.
It's not something you
And
can
focused
explain.
it.
It's not something you can explain. It's something totally magical, and I have no idea what it is. It's just getting people's attention is something I've always been. Well, I've always been slightly attuned in that direction, so I know how to keep people's attention.
I'm surprised no Jagoff in the back of the house said pussy.
Not yet.
Surprised.
It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Oh yeah.
Thanks, Reaper. Someone will probably do that next show.
That'll be the joke, bro.
Sorry, blame it on me. I'll take all the hits.
Hell yeah, we'll say Reaper did it.
And that's good interaction, man. That's good. That's a positive.
Hell yeah. Well, that's awesome because that was a lot of the magic that Sabbath did because Tony Iommi has always been, he knows he's a riff god. He knows it. He just, somebody's like giving him this or something like that. I've seen him live in person so many times. He'll just go,
Oh yeah.
that's it, and back off and go back into what the fuck he's doing. And I'm just like, all right. And Geezer, man, he's just whipping that fucking hair around while he's going at the same time. So it's like, I think Ozzy just said, I got to do something, you just have to grab them. And, what you're doing, you get them into it. I've witnessed it. I've seen, people playing in bands of all different genres, getting the fuck into it. It doesn't matter. Under metal, so many subcategories. I hate labels. And it's like, you never thought that if they were singing metalcore or death metal or this or that, everyone has literally been influenced by Black Sabbath.
You know what Seventh Advent Unicorn is influenced by? Tacos. We love tacos.
Well, that's pretty fucking funny considering Kyler just said, I'm going to come to the show and yell taco.
Today's taco is brought to you by Tacos and Margaritas in Mansfield, Ohio.
Yeah, our first show, April 15th, is at Two Cousins Pizza in Mansfield.
Nice.
We got the
If you don't mind me plugging it.
Yeah, we're
Oh, no. Plug away, man. I was going to say, there is a spot on the show where, anything you got to plug, you can plug it for sure.
Awesome. Well, I didn't mean to jump in there with that.
Oh, no, not at all. That's fine.
Dude.
This is for
Absolutely.
Tyler. Tacos.
He's eating tacos right now.
Tacos.
Now, so you guys have been primarily just playing basically in your region, I take it.
Ohio.
Have you guys ventured out regionally like Kentucky or Pennsylvania?
No, we haven't ventured out of state yet.
we've been to the border, but never got out of state.
Not in this band yet.
Okay. Now, and then that's what I'm curious
We're
about.
planning on doing that
Plans
this year.
to do that, or
Yeah. We definitely have plans on doing that. We're
There are a few things going on that are in the works right now for our summer schedule.
fantastic.
Some of them might involve a West Virginia show, maybe. Some of them might involve a Michigan show or a Fort Wayne show. We don't know yet.
Oh,
But
fantastic.
we do think that those shows are in the future because we do have what it takes to load up and go, book and roll.
Because honestly, this your type of talent, you can definitely take this show on the road, and you should. And there's just not enough. I mean, when it comes to tribute bands, everyone always says they're a dime a dozen, but only a few really stand out apart from everyone else trying to do the same thing. So I would Kyler says, please come to Virginia.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys got tacos in Virginia?
Of course they fucking do. There's a Del Taco or a Taco Bell in literally every fucking shithole in the country.
Virginia
So I
Tech.
would not worry about that.
Virginia Tech tacos.
Awesome. Kyler says, hell yeah, we do.
Gladly.
Killer. So yeah, man. Now, are you under any management? So many of these tribute bands are under management. They're either good management or they fucking suck. So what's your guys' take on that?
We're under our own management.
Under our own management.
We take turns running this machine.
We have our own little things that we do, and we're learning along the way too. So
Yeah.
we appreciate the help that everybody out there's given us so far, and just learning our own,
Yep. A lot of the things we do because we watched Bonesaw do it. We watched Dive Bomb do it. Or we watched, Crimson do it.
Yeah.
Or, there's a whole other bunch of bands that I'm forgetting. Cobalt Creek and Cornell Webb and all of his bands. And then you got Jake Wolf. And we're really looking forward to seeing Coop's Nightmare play live. I hear them guys are fucking awesome.
And it just that
I can't wait to play with them.
Yeah, we got May 27th in Lakewood at the Winchester. We're playing with Coop's Nightmare.
Nice.
And I just want to go see him.
Yeah, you haven't even seen them.
I haven't seen them yet. I've had a couple chances to see these guys, and they really go all out. It's a family-based band. They got props galore. Jakey Wolf, Jakey Poof. Our old little Jakey Poof is playing with them now.
that calls to the great cover band scene we have in this town. There are many cover bands.
Yeah.
They're playing every weekend, so a lot of times during the week as well. And they get so many shows, and it's honestly pretty inspiring. There's some great frontmen out there too, and
Those guys rule.
and Jeremy, and just great folks out there.
Absolutely, but there's really honestly no reason why you guys couldn't be doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Cover bands, yeah, absolutely. They get booked at weddings, they get booked at regular Tuesday, Wednesday nights, just about anywhere, But a true fucking tribute band to the best there ever was, ever will be. You guys could be literally everywhere.
I think we're being a little selfish because what we're doing is pretty much for us. We enjoy Black Sabbath that much to where we will get together every week and play this shit.
Living the dream,
and
man.
we are enjoying ourselves
We're living the dream.
playing Black Sabbath's music that has inspired us through our lives. And when
That's
we
the
get
key.
to take it out to shows and play it in front of other people and share this love for Black Sabbath with other people, it's no better feeling. It's a real good feeling. But
there are so many bands out there that'll have like Paranoid in their set, maybe, as like just a gimme, or fucking, maybe NIB or something like that. They'll throw it in there. And,
I like
that's
Valhalla does Heaven and Hell. Valhalla does a couple of those songs too.
Oh, for sure. That's a good one. Oh, we're going to get to that shortly about the other eras of Black Sabbath.
There were
but it's particularly the Ronnie James Dio era. We are very big Dio fans.
Tony Iommi never left the band.
Nope, never did.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. Let's put it this way. Tony Iommi is the heart and soul, the life's blood of that band. And he always managed to get the right people at the right time for every incarnation of the band. You
We
know?
have an autograph. He signed a ticket stub for us. Not for us. It was given to a friend of ours, one of our fans. And I'm sure there's some Tony Iommi DNA on there.
I feel a ritual coming on. La, 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 la.
Relic. We'll summon Tony right here, right now.
Rituals with relics.
All right.
Oh my god. Oh, that's great.
He'd be like, well, you know, when I played this back in 75, I did it this way. And he's just so soft spoken and like articulate and intelligent as fuck, even though he was, I mean, between him and the rest of the band, they snorted $50,000 worth of cocaine during volume 4. So it's like,
What?
Rehearsing.
That stuff's illegal.
Yeah, I never.
right. So it's like, the fact that he's just such a gentleman and the way he speaks, it cracks me the fuck up. Geezer too, man. He can talk pretty well too, but god damn it, Ozzy's fucked.
Yeah. He has had
He's getting to be in bad shape. Man.
Oh man, it's a miracle, honestly, that he's lasted this long. I'm just gonna say that.
Coming for all of us.
Yeah, we're glad to still have him around for real.
I am too, and the fact that you could feel it when he had to tell the world that I just can't tour right now. It literally like stuck him right in the heart. You could feel it. Who else would get up there and rock out his latest single at 73 years old? I think it was Patient Number 9 with a fucking back brace behind him, holding him up so he doesn't fall over. Now that's dedication.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But before we get into our next segment, real quick, let's take a quick commercial break and take a look at the great talent of my Reapers Underground Productions Management Company. Check it out. That's right. Reapers Underground Productions Management Company is ever growing worldwide. So many good things going on right now. October Noir, which is basically the new Typo Negative in every sense of the word, is dropping their new single on March 31st called Haunted, or I'm sorry, Forever Haunted. I always want to say haunted first because I'm so used to fucking, Typo Negative. And we're glad to have them, and they're keeping that end of the genre going. It's fantastic. Also, just new releases across the board. We're going to have some new stuff from Rid Them All and Human the Hoof Beast new album coming soon. So if you're in need of any type of promo management, get at me. If I dig your stuff, I will definitely give you a shot. All right.
I heard that Sinister band, the chick singer.
Oh, yeah.
Sinister?
Sensation.
Yeah, Sensation. That girl can sing. Did you hear that?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. They've been with me since the beginning, and they've been growing and evolving. They had an original lead singer, but personal reasons she had to walk. She came in and gave them like a whole new feel and sound, and they are just killing it out there in Southern California. So we're looking forward to them coming out Midwest here and hopefully on the East Coast in the future. So we are back with 7 Advent Unicorn, and we're now going to ask the hard question of how are you guys approaching the Dio era and some of the other incarnations of Black Sabbath? Or do you want to do any of those classic songs?
Well, we had a friend of ours who had a birthday party, Thomas Belcher, and he wanted to hear Heaven and Hell.
Oof. Wow.
So we practiced Heaven and Hell, and we got it down. And Brett did a fabulous job of singing it, and we really locked it in on that show for his birthday. We played it for him. I think we saved it for last or something like that. Didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Tease him or something like that. Then we played it, and that's the only time we played it, and we probably won't ever play it again.
Oh man!
As we have not touched any more Dio besides that.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna.
We prefer it's not that we prefer the Ozzy years. That is what came to us first, the most naturally. It's what we've spent the most time with, I think.
When you get to the other singers, it's a different sound. It's totally a different type of Black Sabbath. Yeah. And we're just not wanting to go there. We're wanting to stick with the solid core, the original 4.
Right.
And if you don't like Black Sabbath, you can hit the fucking door.
It's all good. How did you guys feel about the album 13?
I loved that Ozzy was singing again. That was badass.
That was very cool.
Who's drumming on that? The guy from Rage?
Yeah.
Yes, the original drummer for Rage Against the Machine.
Brad Wilk, I believe.
You know what? Kiss is still Kiss, even though there's 2 members in it. It's still Kiss right now. Pantera is still going to be Pantera, even though it's not the original members. Black Sabbath will always be Black Sabbath, even though there are versions of Black Sabbath that aren't like the original with Ozzy. And when Ozzy came back into the band, it really didn't rekindle or rebirth the original version. It added another era or version of Black Sabbath. So that's how we look at it. And we're only wanting to concentrate on the Ozzy Osbourne early version.
The first incarnation.
Yeah, the first. What brought us to it? What drew us to it? Was the original.
Sure, absolutely. It's just that sometimes you find crowds divided, but it is definitely true that, that first 10 years will always be a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
And you guys do that very, very well. Because it is true, throughout the times, Tony changed with the times. His sound a little bit became, obviously production value from the 70s to the 80s. Big fucking difference. All the way
Only the true Black Sabbath fan is aware and knows the history that much to where they can even comment on the Tony Martin days or the VO days or what else was there? What was the other guy's name? Glenn.
Glenn Hughes.
Oh, Glenn Hughes.
Days.
Glenn
I mean, there's
Hughes.
so
He was only there for a hot second.
there's been over 20 freaking members of Black Sabbath, but Tony Iommi has always played the guitar and he has never left the band.
Exactly. And not to take away from any of, the different bass players they had, because the bass player during the Tony Martin era, I felt was as close as you could to Geezer Butler. He played very fucking well. And that's why I said Tony's kind of like a chameleon, man. He was able to grab a lot of very, very good players to surround himself with. And like I said, he was always about changing with the times because he was never going to let the band die. Didn't matter how good Ozzy was doing on his own.
Kind of like Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Eddie Van Halen did the same thing. It was his band.
He made every version.
Well, him and Alex.
Every version that he had of it, he made the best that he could at it, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they ever made a bad record, in my opinion. I mean, Seventh Star was a little, but as a whole, that man still has a box of
they all have great
40 or
production,
50 riffs that he never recorded.
Man, that's a lot of material right there.
I think that's where most of
all
13 stuff came from. Is that
Exactly
that overabundance, that surplus of material that he has. He didn't really have to write
actually
anything.
said that. The man never stops
13.
writing.
Those already ready.
That's a good habit.
It's like a
Let's keep them coming out.
constant well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's what keeps the man alive and young.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
So, Fred, has there been any challenges for you as far as Geezer's unique approach to the bass?
Oh, yeah.
Because as we know, Geezer Butler started out before Black Sabbath as a lead guitar player and then switched to bass in order to do Black Sabbath and approached that bass as though it was a lead guitar.
Oh yeah, it's been very challenging for me. Yeah. But these guys have helped me out. They've, been behind me the whole way, and I didn't even think I was going to be in this band to begin with. They asked me to be in it, and that's pretty much been my whole life playing music. Because people have been, hey, we need a bass player. Can you play?
And that's the thing, though. Geezer wasn't just a bass player.
Right.
He held it down.
Right.
Tony never had to have the backing track.
Right. Him and those guys, him and the drums, man, they had the anchor part of the band for sure.
Yeah, because essentially he was holding down the rhythm track like a rhythm guitar player would do, but it was the bass.
Yeah.
Just tasty licks.
And it's such a different style from anyone else. I mean, it's such one of the most unique styles I've ever heard ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only other guy when I think of metal, I mean, everybody's got their own opinion, but for me, there has always been three bass players actually, that I feel are legendary in all metal. Geezer Butler, Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, because holy shit.
Oh yeah, he's one of mine too.
Absolutely. And Cliff fucking Burton.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Cliff.
Yeah.
This one's for Cliff,
Awesome.
man.
Oh man.
It's funny. We just did
What an animal there, yeah.
oh my goodness, a top 5 Metallica albums we did on Tracks from the Damned. And Metallica is a sore spot for all of us because it's like, what the fuck happened to them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we all basically, said, and most of our viewers agree that, man, without Cliff Burton, they ain't the same band.
Yeah, you're
I think when
Nothing
they ran
against
out
Casey
of
Newsted.
When they ran out of Dave Mustaine's material, they had to write their own music.
You know, that's
We
very
ran out of Dave's
and I made
material
that
this
point
week,
this
Cole.
past Saturday.
You know?
Oh,
What are we going to do now? We don't have any more of Dave's riffs.
Oh man.
Exactamundo.
And then you get Reload.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. I'll puke. Right now, I'll puke. So what is your guys' goal? What is the future for Seventh Advent Unicorn?
We want to have people that has never even heard of Black Sabbath to
That's
listen
hard to
to
believe.
us, and then go home
Turn them on to it.
and listen to more Black Sabbath. We want people to see the Black Sabbath and the enjoyment that we get off of it. And we want them to take that home and enjoy Black Sabbath in their word.
I feel
As we do.
We've
I couldn't have
influenced
said
a
it
lot of
better.
kids, man.
It's really all
Yeah.
about them. I mean, it's really when we're playing, we're playing for those guys. Really,
There's a whole new generation that isn't even
Yeah.
familiar with Sabbath.
right, and we're trying to represent these guys, and we want to do those guys honor by what we're doing.
Yep. And
We learned our
That's
crap from
fantastic.
them, so
and for enjoyment in ourselves, like that's a big one for us too, just to
Fuck
keep
yeah.
it going
Right.
because we love it.
Yeah,
we love
yeah.
playing it.
We
We
wouldn't
love
be doing
bringing
it
it
if
to
we
people.
didn't. Yeah, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have to realize in, let's say, about 2010, there was a huge doom stoner sludge movement that is so popular now. It is unbelievable with like Monolord, Electric Wizard, Sleep, all of the big Titans, Buffalo. I'm sorry. Shit. There's so many of them because they all have like the same doomy names. Candlemass, all these amazing doom acts.
I've been playing in that genre for the past since 08. So,
and that's why I was about to say you guys could literally play in this genre with any of those bands. The Maryland Doom Fest. There's literally Doom Fests in every fucking single state now. That's how big Black Sabbath has influenced a genre of created. There's so many different people that will say other bands were Doom before Black Sabbath was. No, it was fucking Black Sabbath.
It was Sabbath all the way.
Yeah.
And the revival that happened was because that sound that came from Master of Reality in Volume 4, that awesome stoner sound and the tone, man. It's so cool. It's so fat and heavy and so expressive and just that. You don't need all the huge flash and all the runs and shit. Like you don't need to be the most technical guitar player in order to play good and expressive music that people can relate to and that feels good when you listen to it.
I also like me some Pentagram.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And that was a big
Pentagram is legendary.
It's
Fuck yeah,
legendary.
Pentagram, baby.
R.I.P. Dave Sherman, by the way.
Yeah.
He's been
Yes.
I've played over in Maryland before in a band called Space Charge back in that time, and
Bonded by Darkness just played the Maryland Doom Fest.
I mean, Earth Ride, Nebula,
Josh.
people like that.
Well, look
I
at
knew that we would
the
go
most
well.
recent, biggest Doom Fest that just happened, the Snowblind Festival.
Yeah,
They named it after.
Hey, that's a Black Sabbath song.
No shit.
Basically, yeah. And Pentagram and Corrosion of Conformity headlined that son of a bitch. And let me tell you,
I wish I would have missed that.
holy shit, what a show.
That's so cool.
Is that Atlanta?
No, it wasn't
North
Atlanta.
Carolina?
Well, actually, it might have been. I'll have to look at it. It was either that or Virginia.
Maybe.
I can't remember. But these are festivals that you guys could be playing all over the country.
Well,
And
if
they would
there's any
take
of the Doom guys that are booking for Doom shows,
We love it.
give us a call because we love Doom.
When I played
And
in
I'm
that,
sure we would.
when I played in that,
we would
circuit
do
back
with you.
years
Like
ago.
he said,
We'll do them with you.
We
We'll
could
do
fit
it
in
with-
anywhere with that. Yeah.
The Ohio Doomed and Stone Fest is happening in July. Submit.
I think we already
We
did.
got-
know?
I think we did. Did you send him something?
I think we did. Yeah.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
There you go.
Excellent.
Doom.
Yeah, and that they're literally popping up across the country. And there's no reason that Seventh Advent Unicorn should not be on those fucking shows. You should be. God damn it.
That circuit back in
We should do
in
that.
Cleveland and in over we went and played over in Frederick, Maryland back then.
Mhm.
And that's when that scene was growing. And I knew that
Doomy Doom.
I already played in a band like that.
Kyler.
He's going to have nightmares about what you just said.
Doom Taco. The Kyler.
That's it. I'm making a t-shirt called Doom.
We're gonna make a
Taco.
taco, and we're gonna call it the Kyler Doom Taco. Put some ghost peppers in that shit.
I'd wear it.
The Doom Kyler Doom Taco.
The taco of nightmares.
The taco of Kyler. Oh, shit.
We always
Oh,
listen
man.
to Doom in here, so it's just
We're doomy.
never ending.
I love Doom,
Doom taco.
Oh, yeah,
and I love tacos. One of the things we'd like to add to everything we do is tacos.
Yeah.
It's on our. It's in our description. I mean, if you think about
In
it,
our Facebook description.
if you think about it, tacos, Black Sabbath,
I mean,
dude.
it works. I mean, you
There's
gotta
nothing
eat
wrong with
something
that.
when
It's a
you're at the
perfect
show.
combination.
Well, considering most, Doom fans do partake of the devil's lettuce, tacos would definitely be an afterthought after a night of listening to Black Sabbath. So they do go hand in hand. All righty, guys. Man, it has been an absolute pleasure having you guys on tonight.
Thanks for having us,
Thank
man.
you for having us.
Went quick.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everybody that clicked in and tuned in and watched this. Watched this for
Absolutely.
you.
Everybody out in Three Witches Land, thank you so much for tuning in because, man, this is the music that unites us all. It doesn't matter if you're a black metal fan, a death metal fan, deathcore, whatever the fuck you call it these days, extreme metal. Every single artist has been inspired by this band. There are elements of Sabbath in every genre of metal, and this band has recaptured the glory days of Sabbath in such a way that you'll want to be involved in one of their shows. Across the genres, it doesn't matter whether you're thrash or whatever. Check out Seventh Advent Unicorn. They belong anywhere and everywhere. So even if you missed this broadcast tonight, and fuck you if you did, shame on you, but you can catch the replay anytime on Reapers Underground, Three Witches Entertainment, Facebook pages, and YouTube channels. Y'all know how to search. Y'all know how to Google. Find the shit. Share it the fuck out anywhere and everywhere. So, man, it's been, like I said, it's been a blast. Any upcoming shows you want to plug before we break?
April 15th at Two Cousins Pizza in Mansfield, Ohio. May 27th in Lakewood at the Winchester with Coop's Nightmare, which I can't fucking wait.
Coop's Nightmare.
Support your local haunted houses.
April 15th.
We know a little bit about that here at the Underground.
with Bonesaw.
Bonesaw, yeah. Bonesaw, April 15th.
Ill Will Unsub. Under Substance.
Under Substance.
Yeah.
Under Substance.
Nice. And as you guys get your dates for the summertime, we will definitely push that.
Awesome.
Send it to the Underground, tag me in it, and I will repost it anywhere and everywhere.
We love you all.
Thanks.
Absolutely. In the immortal words of Ozzy, we love you all.
We love you all.
And
He
most
meant when he said it.
importantly, stay heavy.
We love you all. Yeah.
See a corpse is rotting in this wasteland, left with some bleached to bones. Kiss the death in the palm of my hand, more food for the